Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Virgo. Uh, Words are being weighed in someone's mind like stone, each one tested for whether it will build a bridge or trigger an avalanche. They know what they need to say, they just don't know how to say it in a way that doesn't detonate everything between you. So they're rehearsing, revising, delaying, trying to find the perfect arrangement of syllables that will deliver truth without destroying what remains. But perfect arrangements don't exist for hard truths. And every day they wait, the truth gets heavier and the telling gets harder. Let me show you what indecision looks like when it wears someone's face. You might have noticed them being strange lately. Not distant exactly, but distracted. Like they're holding a conversation with you while simultaneously having an entirely different conversation with themselves about what they're not saying to you. Their attention fractures mid sentence. Their eyes carry weight that their words don't explain. They start to speak and then stop, redirect, change subjects with transitions too smooth to be natural. Like they're steering away from something dangerous every time the conversation drifts too close to whatever they're hiding. Some people telegraph their secrets through the effort they put into concealing them. The performance of normalcy becomes its own tell. They're being too careful, too measured, too aware of what they're not revealing. And you feel it. That heaviness, that sense that something's sitting between you that neither of you is naming but both of you know is there. The air gets thick with unspoken things. Conversations happen in layers. The surface one about mundane topics, and the underneath one about whatever's being deliberately avoided. Let's pause here. This reflection invites you to consider who in your life has been acting like they're carrying something they can't put down but won't show you. Maybe it's confession they're preparing, something they did that affects you, something you deserve to know, but they're terrified to reveal because revelation changes everything. They might have made a choice you wouldn't have agreed with, crossed a boundary you didn't know needed stating, done something that contradicts the person they've been presenting themselves as. Or maybe it's not about wrongdoing, maybe it's about feelings, feelings that complicate the dynamic, feelings they're not sure you share, feelings that, once spoken, can't be unspoken. Love confessed, desire admitted, need revealed, words that shift relationships from one category to another irreversibly. Some people can carry those feelings indefinitely, can smile through friendship while wanting more, can maintain platonic performance while everything underneath burns differently. But others reach breaking points, where the gap between what they feel and what they can express becomes unbearable, where pretending costs more than confessing, where the risk of ruining everything starts to feel less painful than continuing to hide. Or maybe what they're trying to tell you is ending, that they're leaving, that they can't do this anymore, that something fundamental has shifted and they need out, but they don't know how to say it without demolishing you. This reflection invites you to consider if someone's been acting strange. Have you been avoiding asking directly because you're not ready to hear the answer? There's something specific about why the telling is taking so long. Fear of your reaction. They're running scenarios, imagining every possible way you might respond, building elaborate projections of your anger, your hurt, your disappointment, your withdrawal. And in their imagination, every scenario ends badly, so they keep postponing, keep hoping for magical phrasing that doesn't exist. Keep waiting for a right time that never arrives because there's no right time to deliver information someone doesn't want to receive. Some people overestimate how catastrophically you'll respond. They've built your reaction up so big in their mind that the actual telling feels insurmountable. But other people underestimate. They think they can control your response through careful wording, through strategic framing, through minimizing the impact of what they're revealing. They're crafting the confession to protect themselves from your full reaction, already preparing defenses, already building justifications, already planning how to make this about anything other than what they actually did or feel or need. And that calculation, that strategic approach to vulnerability tells you something important about whether what's coming is genuine or just another form of manipulation. This reflection invites you to consider when someone finally speaks, will you be listening for truth or for how they're trying to manage your response? Let me describe what the moment of telling might actually look like. They might create a specific setting, ask to talk, signal seriousness through context, give you advance warning that something significant is coming so you brace yourself before impact. That's considerate or controlling, depending on whether they're trying to create space for honest conversation or trying to choreograph your response by setting the stage carefully. Or they might blurt it, lose the battle with restraint. Let it spill in a moment of emotional overwhelm when keeping it in becomes physically impossible. Those tellings are messier, more raw, less calculated, which means they're often more honest even if they're less articulate. Some truths arrive polished, others arrive bloody, and the bloody ones are usually more trustworthy because they haven't been rehearsed into performance. Or they might tell you through action rather than words. Start behaving differently, creating distance or closing it, showing you what they can't say through how they move around you. And you're left interpreting, guessing, filling in blanks they won't fill for you, which is its own form of cruelty, making you decode what they're too scared to state plainly. Whatever form the telling takes, you'll know it when it arrives, because the air will change. The weight that's been pressing between you will finally have shape and name, and you'll have to decide what to do with information you might have been happier not knowing. This reflection invites you to consider, is there information someone could tell you that would fundamentally change how you see them? There's something important about your role in all of this. You're not responsible for making it easy for them to tell you hard things. You don't have to perform safe space for someone who's about to hurt you with their truth. Some people think they owe others gentle reception of painful information, that being mature means absorbing someone's confession without reacting strongly. That emotional regulation requires you to manage your response to protect the person delivering the blow. But that's backwards. Your authentic response to someone's truth is valid. If it hurts, you're allowed to show hurt. If it angers you, you're allowed to show anger. If it changes everything, you're allowed to let everything change. You don't have to make their confession easier by performing for understanding you don't feel or acceptance you're not ready to give. What you do owe them and yourself is listening, actually hearing what they're trying to say underneath the fear and the rehearsed phrasing and the strategic framing. Because sometimes the thing they're trying to tell you isn't as catastrophic as they've built it up to be. Sometimes their fear of your reaction is disproportionate to what they're actually revealing. And other times it's exactly as bad as they fear, and your reaction will be proportionate to the harm, and that's okay too. Let me address what you might need to do while you wait for them to find their courage. First, you can ask directly, "You've been acting strange. Is there something you need to tell me?" Give them the opening, Remove the burden of creating the perfect moment. Some people need permission to confess. They're waiting for you to create space for the conversation they can't initiate themselves. Second, you can decide you're not waiting, that if they have something to say, they need to say it, or you're moving forward without whatever information they're holding. Some secrets expire. Some truths arrive too late to matter, and you're not obligated to sit in the discomfort of their indecision indefinitely. Third, you can prepare yourself, not for specific content you don't know what's coming, but for the reality that something is coming, that change is approaching, that whatever they tell you will require response and possibly recalibration of the relationship. You remain in complete control of how you receive whatever's coming. You can be gentle or firm, understanding or boundaried, open or protective. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice reading this has sharpened your awareness of someone who seems to be carrying something, maybe anxiety about what it might be, maybe frustration that they haven't just said it yet, maybe recognition that you've been avoiding creating space for the conversation because you're scared too. Whatever it is, honor it. Take what resonates, softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Before we close, I want to ask you something. When someone's clearly holding something back, do you ask directly or wait for them to tell you in their own time? Drop it in the comments. And this, is it kinder to push for honesty or to wait patiently even when waiting feels like torture? They're trying to figure out how to tell you this is less than has hone. Zero hash is greater than, and the trying is taking so long that the secret is becoming heavier than the telling. Soon, maybe very soon, they'll reach the point where keeping it in costs more than letting it out. And when they finally speak, you'll have to decide what their words are worth, whether their truth deserves your understanding or just your acknowledgement, whether what they're confessing changes everything or just clarifies what you already sensed. Not eventually. The confession is building. Trust yourself with this. Trust that you can handle whatever they tell you, even if it hurts. Trust that their fear of your reaction doesn't mean you're responsible for managing it. Trust that whatever's coming, you'll know how to respond once you actually hear it. See you in the next one. And listen. Someone working up courage to tell you truth is preparing you to receive it. The delay isn't just about them. It's time for you to brace for impact too. Stay ready. Stay honest. Whatever they're holding will reveal itself soon.